Hello everyone and welcome back to Teach Astronomy. My name is Victoria, but you can call me Vicky, and actually today you can call me Kai because it is Thursday, which means it is D&D and Space Night, and it's, time to adventure, time to rejoin the team of the Starship Endurance, specifically the Dawn's Horizon team, and yeah. Also, disclaimer. May have some weird technical difficulties today. Mainly just Kyle might disappear and reappear sometimes. So, it'll be fine.
It's just Leaf phasing in and out of existence due to temporal, trans-dimensional weirdness that's happening on this planet. This is normal.
Exactly. Also, same disclaimer as I had last week. I might be playing some music. If anything sounds like it's not balanced right, let me know because I'm not on my own computer. But with that, I'm going to pass it off to Grant to get us back up to speed with what was going on last week.
All right, well, welcome everybody to the ongoing missions of the Starship Endurance and her away team, specifically away team Dawn's Horizon and their new ship, Dawnbreaker. Our away team has found themselves on a beautiful, verdant planet, temperate and absolutely wonderful, and they have met some new friends, some Trakans, just like their new companion Satsi. And yeah, they've done a little bit of exploring of the planet, may or may not have discovered some sort of alien shapeshifter creature, and felt like they've been watched from the woods a couple of times. They've met alien bunny creatures, they've met giraffe-like antelope / deer things, and they have also met their first Alassian, Ahmad, who seems to know more than he is letting on. And the exact point we left off was the Trakans had invited you to join them at their camp for a meal. Roast Brecken, apparently. And you're not entirely sure what it is, only that it smells amazing.
Let's hope it tastes amazing and it's not poisonous to human variants.
Oh, don't worry. They already did a scan to make sure that it's not going to
poison.
Oh,
yes. All right. Good. Thank God.
They are good hosts, for the most part.
I still need to get your jacket, Kai. I'm working on it.
We both need to get jackets. We need the whole team to get jackets. This is very important.
All right. So, it looks like the Trakans are gathering around this, great big bonfire that they've created in the middle of their camp. They've set out what look like some fairly comfortable cushions on the ground that they all seem to be taking seats on. What do all of you do?
Are there any cushions left?
Oh, there are a few cushions, actually, enough for all of you present here now. There's certainly one for Satsi, who's already kind of hanging around, waiting for you guys to show up. Forrest! There is...
I don't know if... Hold on. I need to take away the... There we go. The labels. They couldn't see them.
Oh, and then he stops.
Puppy!
Oh,
so good.
Bestest puppy. There's also a cushion that it looks like they're just letting Wonder have, because Wonder seems to have commandeered it. That's pretty much it. Zen is kind of hanging out, although it sounds like he's making his excuses and going to be heading back to the Dawnbreaker. And you have not seen your crewman Thaddeus at all. He is sticking to his guns and not leaving the ship.
This is not surprising. All right.
He still has no idea why he's here.
You can blame Leaf for that one.
Cannon fodder.
That is not reassuring.
I know.
Hey. We don't do cannon fodder here.
We do laser fodder.
Exactly.
All right.
Also, Highland Jersey, welcome.
Hello, Lynn Jersey. I can't see the chat, so everyone else is going to be interacting for me today.
Woo.
But yeah, I think Kai is going to just kind of be like, I think we should go sit down or something. I don't know. And she's going to approach whatever cushion is the closest and ask the person sitting next to the empty cushion. Like, is this taken?
It turns out it's actually one of the other. It's the other paladin present, Paladin Shimra, and you actually haven't spoken to Shimra yet, and she kind of just looks up at you and says, rather coldly, "No one is sitting there."
I
You get the
to...
sense that not all Trakens are as friendly as Ekin and Amryn.
Okay. I don't have to. I can sit somewhere else, and I just kind of back up, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like, and I turn back to the team, and I'm like, I don't know if we're supposed to sit on the cushions.
Special cushions.
Paladin Ekin walks up and actually gestures you over to a set of cushions that they've set up for all four of you, and says, please, join us. You are more than welcome around our fire.
Okay.
And
Many
and
thanks.
as soon as he's kind of out of earshot of Ekin, out of Shimra, he says, "Don't mind Paladin Shimra. She's not exactly the friendliest toward non-Trakens. A lot of it has to do with past experiences. Don't mind her. She is perfectly reliable and more than friendly once you get to know her."
Okay. That sounds a little racist.
Okay.
I don't say that in real life. I don't say that.
Well, I mean, you could try and get a better sense if you wanted to, say, do a sense motive check or something like that. Get a better read on this person.
I'm just gonna
Because
like.
on the surface, yes, that is what it sounds like.
Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of.
I mean,
Kyle.
to be fair, right? We've kind of had similar we've had experiences with other alien species that have left lasting impressions. So this is not entirely
Fair, but like we also have one on our ship that we were like, okay, we'll leave you with the ship because we know that you are not like the rest of your species, even though he is kind of mean.
To be fair, we did take him captive.
I think Icy fits the bill rather nicely.
Okay, I guess we
Yeah.
pop a squat.
All right. And no one's going to do sense motive on Shimra at all, or are you just going to...
I'm not going to. I'll probably leave that to the psionics.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Let us see.
And is that insight or is sense motive its own thing? It's its own thing. Huh?
It should be, yeah.
Kai just doesn't really have the patience for anyone who's like, I don't like that species. And you're like, cool, bye.
25.
25. Okay.
Spicy.
You kind of get a read on Shimra that Shimra's just a little bit cold around the edges as a person. Just from the way that she's even interacting with other Trakens. You also, I'm gonna say, because you're observing her a little bit more, you do notice that this Traken is covered in evidence of combat. She's got scars, she's got burn marks. It looks like she's been through a lot.
So as warm and inviting towards strangers as, say, Zen.
I mean,
Zen's relatively warm and inviting to strangers.
yes, Zen's pretty nice by comparison.
Yeah.
Probably equivalent to your experiences with Corden.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair.
Puppy.
A puppy returns.
There
So
he is.
yeah, that's your basic idea of Shimmer at the moment. Just kind of
Okay.
cold, kind of icy toward everybody. Aloof is, I think, one of the better words
Sure.
I can come up with for her. If you want to find out more, you are welcome to try talking to her.
Maybe later.
Okay, so I'm going to say your group is kind of between Amryn, who was really just loving taking a look at your technology, and Paladin Ekin, who's kind of acting as your host. I'm gonna let's see who sits where. Okay, let's Brick,
Yeah.
you're sitting next to Knight Amron, and immediately you hear a gasp next to you. What is that you've got on your hand? And she immediately picks up your hand with the gauntlet in it and starts looking at the thing.
Hold on. Be a little bit careful with that.
I've never. Is that a legitimate activation button? How does this work? Do you punch things with it? Oh, this is so cool. And it looks like she's about to start taking it apart if you're not careful.
Okay. Hold. It's gentle. Was a gift from a friend. If you don't mind.
Oh no, not at all. Can you show me how it works?
Harry,
Yeah?
time for a little bit of a demonstration.
Okay.
You guys gonna do
What do
this
I need to
now?
do?
We're sitting
What
down
the
to
heck?
dinner.
Leaf just leans over. If I may, perhaps after dinner, perhaps somewhere with a little more open space.
I don't know. I don't want to restrict you guys from inciting chaos because that's my whole mo. But this is
Um,
what are you gonna
there's a whole
do?
field right over there.
Are you gonna punch Ari? Like what's happening?
Well, yeah.
Wait, what?
What?
Wait.
Come on. You've
I
been
thought you
hit
wanted me
by
to, like,
this
summon something
before.
for you
You
to
know
punch.
it's
You're not
not
gonna hit
that
me.
bad. It's
You
fine.
know it'll kill me,
No, I
probably.
won't. No, you're fine.
Back.
Paladin Ekin intercedes, handing off what seem like wooden plates to all of you, and says, "Perhaps later. If Amron's interested, it's probably going to cause destruction of some kind, and let's save that for after dinner. You can destroy whatever you want when you're done."
Sounds good.
Kindred soul.
And then I kind of lean over to Brick. I don't know how we're sitting. I'm assuming it's like Brick, Ari, me, and Leaf or something, or Leaf and me, whatever. But I kind of
Something
lean
along
over
those lines.
behind the other ones, and I'm like, Brick, maybe we could do the thing again where I just like do the inertial armor that I get from Leaf, and then you don't have to maybe kill Ari. That might be a better idea.
Look,
If Ari doesn't
Harry
want to
has
get
been
punched,
hit by this.
and then I go to Ari. It's totally up to
Plenty
you,
of times.
but
But I don't like it.
Look. You've trained together. Okay, it's fine.
I'd rather not
Oh,
get hit if I don't
fine.
need to.
Okay.
I just look at Kai and I'm like,
Uh,
So, you have plates of food. They seem to have some sort of There aren't any vegetarians in the group, are there? Is Leaf vegetarian, or Brick, or Ari, or Cypress?
no.
No?
Nah.
Okay.
kind
Good.
of not.
So there's a big chunk of grilled something on one side. There seem to be some basic implements like you're not sure if it's meant to be the equivalent of a fork, but this kind of little thing that you hold in one hand and has a button on it, and then a knife. They're also
Leaf looks at it and goes, "Is this like an actual button for activation? Oh my gosh."
Kai is desperately trying not to burst out laughing.
well, Ekin says, well, they're kind of old, an inherited set, that sort of thing. They're actually about 5 centuries old at this point.
ooh.
Wow.
That's a lot of sense.
I will say,
Where I'm from, we just use sticks.
really intriguing.
Kai, again, is just trying desperately not to laugh and might
You will
be
have-
kind of crying a little bit at this point.
Ekin leans in and says, "You will have to demonstrate this for me at some point. I'm so curious how you would be able to consume your food with mere sticks."
Yeah, you'll have to demonstrate it for him later, Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Can I just
Thinking.
reach into my kind of shoulder bag or whatever it is and just pull out my travel chopsticks?
oh, I guess okay.
Okay.
Okay, if you're talking, I thought you were literally just like making a joke and like I'm gonna pull a fucking thing off a tree
That would be
and then
hilarious.
poke and eat. Like no, chopsticks make sense.
Okay.
Now I feel
they-
insensitive.
Are they basic chopsticks, or are they like special fancy like collapsible chopsticks that you press buttons on the end, they go cheek?
Ultra chopsticks,
No,
nano chopsticks.
they're just like traditional wooden chopsticks.
Okay. All right. Sure.
With his very, very limited carrying capacity, this is what Leaf chooses to carry.
Well, yeah, Kyle, if Leaf is an extension of you, this makes complete
Yes.
sense.
There were fancy titanium ones available that were like super lightweight and like, yeah, no, Leaf is carrying real wood chopsticks.
I love it.
Okay. Yeah, so you've got this grilled thing on one end. You've also got what looks like a sort of a bowl with a stew with all sorts of interesting looking vegetables in it.
With the stew.
And
I said good luck with the stew.
there is also what seems to be kind of like a garden salad sort of thing on the other side.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you've got plenty to choose from.
Yeah, are there chunks in the stew?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Leaf picks up the bowl of stew and starts pulling and just starts eating chunks out of it with chopsticks.
Fair enough.
Ekin is fascinated by this. Incredible. I have never met a spacefaring race that does this. This is an intriguing tradition. You must teach me how to do this at some point. It looks intricate.
Of course.
Do they have enough fingers to?
Do they?
Probably.
Good question.
Okay.
They have 4 fingers.
Yeah,
That
you
is
can do
enough.
it.
Yeah.
That is the minimum to wield chopsticks effectively.
In the correct way. If you're
Yes.
me, I think you can get by with
Stab,
2. I'm not that
Okay.
bad.
Okay. Does anyone try the strange instrument with the button on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
What do you point it at?
The plate of food.
Oh,
Yeah, you were pointing it at yourself, Brick.
At your eye.
I saw you. Luke Skywalker. It's like,
how does this thing work?
That depends. Is there a cylinder I can look down conveniently, or is there?
Convenient.
There is actually.
Oh.
God.
Yeah, you press the button and it feels like your eye's wanting to come out of its socket for
Also-
a second.
I'm sorry, Lynn Jersey. I don't know. I think destruction on a full stomach might not be good either.
What did she say?
I don't know. I think destruction on a full stomach might not be good either.
Amazing.
That's a problem for later.
Exactly.
As
If
the
everything's
DM.
gonna go down in flames, we might as well get a hot meal first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, so this thing seems to try pulling your eye out of its socket. It does not succeed.
Okay.
oh my god.
But it's, yeah, it seems to pull things.
Whoa.
I do the same thing as while he's doing that and almost losing an eye, but I point it down at my plate.
Okay, let's see. Roll a d10 for me. I want to see what gets attracted to it.
Okay. That's a I forgot what a D10 looks like. Hold on 1 second. There we go. I was like, that's a 12. Wow. A 1.
A 1?
Yeah.
That grilled steak-like thing just flies up and just starts hovering a couple centimeters away from the end of the thing.
I am transfixed. And then I kind of do a little like I'm like, is this how you're supposed to
I'm
take a
gonna say Satsi's near you, and she reaches over, taps you, and then shows knife, and the other thing seems to be holding it in place. In fact, she shows you that the button is not just for pressing. You can actually move it in directions to adjust how something rotates or how close it is.
And so I like put it back down. Like it's like halfway to my mouth, then I'm like oh, okay.
What's this thing's range, by the way? Like, how far away can it pick up an item?
Well, it didn't take out his eye, so that's
Okay, yeah. True. Okay.
Well, that just tells you how hard it pulls. I don't know. Do you point it at somebody else's plate to find out?
No, Aries just thinking if he should pocket it or not for later.
Oh my god.
Brick is currently trying to pull
Please
Aries'
don't.
little floating
crystals with it.
It's just
See.
you can just kind of see it like just, but it keeps going back.
Brick. Okay, I was gonna have Brick roll for it to see what happened.
Oh,
but okay, yeah.
sounds
if
good.
that's what the crystals that Eri has hanging around above his head would do, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, it seems to have some range. You could try stealing something from someone else's plate if you wanted to, but it doesn't look like it's meant to pick up much. That sort of grilled steak thing seems to be the heaviest thing it's really meant to work with.
Got it.
All right. Well, everyone begins their meal. It is absolutely delicious, and Paladin Ekin is just questioning Leaf constantly about the practice of using chopsticks, because he is still entirely fascinated by it. This is your opportunity if you wanted to start conversations with the Trackens, learn a little bit more about them. They are all, except for the initiates, you notice, they are all actively having conversations.
Are any of the initiates speaking at all?
They are not. What you do notice is that on occasion several of them will exchange glances, and it seems they seem to be communicating silently.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Paladin Ekin, so what exactly does it mean to be an initiate?
An initiate is the beginning of a member of the Path of Light. Initiates are trained, usually from a young age, and their training includes everything from basic use of their abilities, all the way through combat training if they are so inclined. They don't have to, of course. Some end up being among our greatest scholars before they even pass through the trials to become a warrior. That being said, initiates are our future, entirely so.
So does like every Trekkin like go through the initiate phase, or is it just like certain people?
It is our sect. We are members of the Path of Light. It is a multi-system organization, primarily Trekkin. There are some other species, Caboidians, for example.
The Western Shuffle just started despite me trying to. Repeat once. Ha ha ha. Figured it out, I think. We'll see if Western Shuffle decides to play again. Sorry.
Shouldn't.
Grant, have we stumbled upon a religious cult of aliens?
I'm pretty confident that we have, yes, Kyle. But we're rolling with it.
It seems like there is certainly that element of it. But
I love it.
Yeah. And Paladin Ekin continues. However, the larger part of Trakkan society, as you've discovered from our friend Kimran, who runs our shop, many Trakkans do not follow the Path of Light and choose to live lives as traders, as workers, as explorers even. Trakkan history is full of a wide variety of life paths and choices, and many Trakkans do not adhere to the Path of Light. It is their choice. We do not judge them for it.
That was
it is
my
merely
next question.
it is merely the path that we follow.
Cool. And
That's very
chill, I guess. Cool. I mean,
that's very refreshing to hear.
yes. So I don't know. Again, I'm kind of like, my mind is kind of boggled by the fact that Satsi is like of your sect, and we just found you guys. I mean, not only we found Trekkins, but like we found you guys specifically. Which,
The light guides.
you know,
I know how
Okay.
that sounds. I've met many other species who have interesting reactions to that saying, but truly, the light guides. It is, I believe,
No, that checks out.
it is no coincidence that you are here.
Okay. Kai doesn't love organized religion. She's just like, and she's eating the steak or whatever, and it's good. I'm assuming she's still eating it.
It is wonderful.
Leaf has organized enough religions to recognize a true believer.
Okay. A true believer.
What any conversations that Harry and Brick are having? Or
No, we're just listening, but I think Ari,
Chowing down.
yeah, he's chowing down. But I think Ari like kind of likes the idea of the light, so he's kind of intrigued by it.
okay.
So you'd mentioned a trial of darkness.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, we so we're going with Tatsi. Very excited for that. Always here to support our girl. My question is, were we supposed to have read up on anything? Is there gonna be like, I don't know, I've heard a lot about different kinds of trials that people do for things, and some of them are like super chill, and then some of them are like American Ninja Warrior, and like, I don't know. You know?
I am unfamiliar with this
That
American Ninja Warrior
makes
trial
total
of which you
sense.
speak.
Honestly,
but-
most people that I associate with from the day to day don't know what that is. It's an old thing.
Well, extrapolating what you mean by chill, I believe is the word you're using. I do not believe the Trial of Darkness or any of the trials on the Path of the Warrior are chill. They
Right.
are difficult. They are meant to be a challenge, and they are meant to test initiates, specifically an initiate's resolve and understanding of their place in this universe, the role that they play. Initiates, warriors, and paladins who serve the light are... He thinks for a second as if he's trying to boil down what seems to be a lifetime of scholarship into a few moments.
Yeah, fair.
and says, our path is to face darkness and not allow its sovereignty. Our path is to stand against it in any place it finds itself. And it is these trials are meant to prepare initiates for that role.
Gotcha.
So I get the impression that normally an initiate would go through this trial of darkness with people who've already
Also-
passed through that that process.
Yeah, that's yeah.
W- How does that work in this case? What is our
Like, are we gonna be
role
smited
here?
or like? 'Cause, like, I don't want to.
There is precedent for adopted initiates passing through the trials with their adopted parties and doing perfectly well. It requires a measure of guidance from their adoptive tribe, but we are more than willing to send someone who knows a great deal more about this than you do along with you. Your initiate should be more than aware. She is of the trial age. She, after our brief introduction earlier, I have determined that she has been through the appropriate instruction. Your initiate, Satsi, knows what she must do. However, we I believe you would be well off bringing perhaps Ahmad with you. Ahmad is an excellent scholar. We have worked with him for several years now, and he is a true master of information and understanding. Ahmad is more than aware of what the trials are and what you must do. If you wish, Ahmad can accompany you.
I mean, that might be a good idea. I want to make something clear. I have absolutely zero doubts in Satsi. She's gonna kill this. Like, she's gonna do great. I think she's very capable. I am concerned for us. Because
the trial is shared. The trial is a shared rite of passage.
For sure. And the absolute
For an
last thing I
entire
want to
tribe.
do is fail this massively important trial for Satsi and therefore ruin her life. So I would love to take Ahmad with us, I think, if that's okay with you guys.
Of course. Of course.
Ahmad willing?
Ahmad willing, of course, yes.
Ahmad's actually across the fire from all of you, and even with all of the conversations going on, you see his head turn toward you and just slightly incline.
Thanks.
Leaf nods back.
Really glad to have you on the team.
Ekin continues and says, you should also be aware that initiates understand it is their duty as well to ensure that the entire tribe passes through the trial. Satsi will be watching your back as well. It is a great deal of responsibility. That is part of the point of the trials.
Mhm. Is there anything that we are specifically not to do as part of this trial?
Maybe don't say that we are not
Are there rules that
light people.
Grant, just for you, the question I'm asking here is, are there rules that we are expected not to break? Or is this more of the make it through and details of what's expected of you will become clear along the way?
Yeah.
It's very much the latter.
Okay.
That's the sense you're getting.
Grant, I have an out-of-universe question for you really
Yes.
quick. Have you
Yes.
read The Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas?
No.
Have you, McKenna?
That sounds very familiar.
It came out like 6 months ago?
I have not.
Then no.
Months ago? Okay.
Okay.
Aidan Thomas also wrote Cemetery Boys, but you're very you should read it. Everybody should read it. It's great. I'm getting vibes from that, and that one definitely killed some people, I think. Maybe not, but close. So
Maybe I should play the sound effect I keep accidentally pressing. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much what Ekin tells you. You
Okay.
are welcome to ask him more if you would like. It seems out of everyone here, Ekin is the person who is, well, aside from Amren, who wants to completely dissect all of your technology, Ekin is the person who is most interested in talking to you.
I do have...
Okay, you
Oh,
go.
go ahead.
You go.
Oh, I have one more question, which is, why is it that the initiates do not speak?
It is partly due to tradition. However, practically, the reason initiates do not speak is to hone their ability to communicate telepathically. It is another element of the training to make them feel more natively empowered to their abilities.
Clever.
We believe so.
I have a quick question. And then
Yes.
we can let you eat dinner. But this is very unrelated to everything. How old does aging work for y'all? 'Cause how old are initiates?
Initiates, it depends on how you compare cycles. Our cycles, there is a unit we use. I don't know if you have a conversion computer with you that would allow me to translate it into a number that is meaningful to you. However, we work by solar rotations. I believe my translator is saying that is a year in your language. Our year I would have to know the conversion.
Oh, well, here,
Initi-
simple question then. How long have we been on this planet?
Approximately, Ekin does the math and says, okay, extrapolating from that, one of our years is approximately three-quarters of one of yours.
Okay.
So, initiates start often before they are 10 of your years of age, long enough where they have begun to see the world, they begin expressing their capabilities. Often, if they express their capabilities earlier, they are given preliminary understanding of how to harness them and use them safely. Beyond that, initiates often train well into their teens. Specifically, Satsi is, if I'm doing the math correctly based on what she told me, she's approximately 16, 17 of your years in age.
That tracks.
And what is kind of the age of adulthood, I suppose?
I would say the average Traken reaches adulthood around the age of 16.
Okay.
I don't know what the longevity of your species is, but we, on average,
Seems like.
we tend to our people tend to mature early, and we can live often into the century mark.
Yeah, okay. I was correct in saying not long. Oh wait,
Yeah, so our-
century is only 100
yeah.
years. I'm an idiot.
Ours live in the
I
same.
was thinking 1,000 years. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we are nothing. No, okay.
Allowing for variations, we tend to be in the same range. So.
Indeed. Curious. Very curious.
Variations being the away team, us.
And allowing for occupation.
Well, occupation is half of the situational data, is it not? Lynn Jersey's asking a very pertinent question. What kind of beverages are being served with dinner?
That's a good question.
Did Kai bring any part of her bar along?
Kai did not want to. Kai got the feeling that this was a religious group pretty early, did not want to insult anyone, left the alien booze on the ship.
Okay, they actually, I'm going to say at some point they give you an option. They do, of course, have purified water. They also have various, it seems to be a juice of some kind, although you do get slight whiffs of ethanol from it. And it is very much, it is a form of wine.
Hell yeah.
But also Kimran, I'm going to say Kimran kind of, as they're going back for seconds or something, offers Eri just this little flask and saying, in case you want something a little bit stronger.
Okay, thanks. Pockets.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Time to get
Are
litty.
you both trying it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna
for
give it a
sure.
shot.
Both of you make fortitude saves, please.
Works me.
Incredible.
Oh, great.
Oh god.
How much of this
World's
do you
worst
chug?
worst.
I just take like a small sip, but how much do you
Oh,
have?
you did. Yeah, I take a swig.
The hell did you give them that you need a fortitude save for a sip?
Yeah,
That'd be
great.
fun.
Why are you poisoning us,
Like the
Brand?
point out the
Technically,
irony
in
What's mine?
3.5, I believe,
This one?
a shot of vodka is something you do have to save for.
Iconic.
Something
Yes.
of that equivalent strength is something you have to save for.
I love it.
So how did you guys do?
I got an 18.
I got a 16.
Okay, you two are fine. Maybe a little buzzed, but not bad. It's good stuff. It's strong, very strong.
My brain feels kind of quiet. I
Yeah?
like it.
Good.
It's a change.
It's too real. Oh,
Okay.
God.
So, what else would you like to ask Paladin Ekin? Or Amryn? You're welcome to ask Amryn things. Amryn is trying very hard to resist, like, picking up, say, a communicator that someone left aside and dissecting it.
Kai's pretty much just chilling. She's just eavesdropping.
Give me just one sec. Okay, so I'm actually going to give Amron one of my fried robot repair patches just as a gift to play with.
Okay. Amron takes a look at it and kind of turns it around a couple of times, seeing the scorch marks and saying, "Intriguing. I've never seen something. What is this? What does it do?"
It was a robot repair patch. And now it is a paperweight. Leaf then
paperweight.
proceeds to explain what paper is and why one might wish to hold it down.
Fascinating. You still use cellulose as a form of information holding? Intriguing.
Only for its traditional nostalgia. We've long since gone computerized for most things.
Oh, I want to see one of your computers one of these days, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Supervised. Kai just goes, supervised.
So how does this work? She immediately pulls out like this little object that looks like almost a soda can, but then she presses a button and it pops out into all of these arms and gadgets and things, and mounts the robot repair patch between a couple of pincers, and some sort of magnifying device opens up, and she starts taking a very close look at it.
Hey, that's
Oh,
something I would like to ask you, Grant.
yes.
I haven't seen anyone with anything similar to my multi-tool, have I?
No.
Okay.
If anything, the only person who seems visibly armed, and this may be a little concerning to all of you, but the only person who seems visibly armed is Kimran, the storekeeper, and they seem to have
that's fair.
some. Yeah, they seem to have some sort of like overblown, way too big to be a sidearm, yet it's a sidearm kind of like pistol on their hip. It's Han Solo levels of, I've got a gun and I'm not afraid to show it off.
All of that tracks, I think, yeah.
I say, given the training we know Satsi has had, no, that tracks completely.
Okay.
And the
Given
training
that-
that Kimron probably hasn't had if they are not part of the way of the light or whatever.
And given the fact that the only other Elysian we've encountered, even after being completely like having their brain fried by a bioweapon, was still able to exercise psionic powers to the point of rendering themselves invisible.
Oh,
Wow.
true.
Uh,
Forgot about that.
yeah, I don't think any of us are particularly like weirded out by the fact that none of these other people are armed. I think Leaf at least is just assuming that they're not armed because they don't feel like they need it.
Okay.
We
All
will,
right,
however, be very much armed.
For the same reason that Leaf
Destroy
doesn't carry a weapon.
Yeah, Leaf does. And wait, okay, no, me and Brick are kind of the only ones that have like real weapons, right? Because Arian, Leaf are
I
both
have,
just like mind power. Or do you have
I
something?
got some daggers.
Oh,
Just
nice.
a couple
Okay,
daggers
nice.
stuck around my boots.
Leaf
and
actually
stuff.
does
Yeah.
have.
Hell yeah.
Leaf does actually
Yeah, you have your
have some weaponizable stuff on him, but
blow dart thing. Blowgun.
Weaponizable. All right. Anything else you want to ask the Trackens about?
Should we give a little bit of a demonstration now?
Only if Kai helps.
What is a
Yeah, sure.
Brecken?
Thank
is a
you,
what?
Kai.
A Brecken.
That's a good question, actually.
Oh,
Oh.
yes. A Brecken. It is, I believe your closest analogy from what we've been discussing is a fish. It is a fish native to the world we come from. It's Anopsis 4 is where we're from, and you are welcome to visit, by the way. The Enclave is more than happy to have visitors. Just understand the Freeport can be a little bit lawless around the edges, but the marshals do what they can. But yeah, oh god, I just forgot the name I gave them. What was the name of the place?
Asmod for?
Sure,
Anopsis?
Anopsis. Yes. Yes, this particular fish lives in some of the oases on Anopsis and in its rivers and the Great Sea. It is a delicacy because you do have to travel quite a way to get it. And
This isn't like a super smart fish or anything that can talk, right?
no.
Sick. Thank
We
you. Got a little worried there for a second. Hail from a water world.
they
Never
are
know.
Oh.
they are dumb as a box of bolts.
Perfect. And yeah, I get up and I'm like, all right, Brick. And I hit my thing and I'm like, come punch me. And I walk over.
Okay. Amarin immediately puts away the thing that's analyzing the robot repair patch and pulls out a little device and attaches it to the side of her head and hits a button. And you
Ooh,
see
what's that?
a little yellow light start blinking.
It's definitely a video camera. That's me,
Yeah.
Vicky, saying that. Not Kai, but as someone who went to school for film and TV.
Okay. I'm really. Let's see what this does.
Can I get a copy of this footage?
Just make sure we're far enough away from the...
Yes.
All right.
Aries just shaking his head.
We are at least out of range of what you know of Grant. Brick has made sure of that.
Okay.
So,
Grant's like, dang it.
Hit me.
all right. You see the gauntlet flips over and like kind of encapsulates Brick's fist.
Okay, I'm a little scared.
And you, Leaf and Kai would probably notice it's just like in the back of this thing, you just see kind of a plasma charge that typically goes in a rifle that's just kind of clipped into it.
Oh, wait, I just realized you haven't punched me with that. You just punched me
haven't.
with your fist. Not
I
that.
have.
Oh.
Kai, if you want to back out, I understand.
No, it's
I've been
fine.
hit by this thing.
I'll be fine.
It's not
so
fun.
Brick is gonna go pretty softly, but enough to trigger it, and it
Leaf quietly
Good.
starts loading a stim pack into his blowgun.
Okay.
God. I could have had you hit.
I just kind of leans over and as an
Vicky?
aside,
Make a reflex save for
Okay.
me, please.
It was only an 18. I don't think that beats her AC with this thing.
There's still the problem of plasma.
Yeah, so it doesn't beat my
Oh.
AC for sure with the tattoo. Thank God I turned it on. The reflex save. Oh, say 25.
Okay, yeah. So, Brick, what does this look like?
Right. So
Terrifying.
his fist makes contact, and then it's like that amazing sound from Star Wars of Boba Fett's like depth charges. And there's just a blast of plasma heavier than most bolts that happen. And it just kind of, I imagine it just kind of moves around the shield that you have over your body right now,
Yeah.
kind of, and like cascades and sparks.
Okay. Grant, what happens to me?
Nothing. You managed to.
I
you managed
will
to
say-
avoid the bits that would get by the shield.
Okay, I will say I definitely probably fall from that because I was not expecting that. It was kind of I imagine that was a quick, like, you engage the thing, and I was like, oh no. Don't do it, you know?
Okay, Amber's like, oh, fascinating. Oh, you need to give me the blueprints for that. That would be so cool to play with.
I'm just staring up at Brick. I'm like, holy shit.
I'm sorry.
No,
Kinda,
that was
picks
sick.
you up. My bad.
No, that was super cool. Just
Brick
can't
and
wait for you
Kypris-
to aim that at enemies.
Brick and Kypris, both of you make spot checks at disadvantage because you're focused on other things right now.
Man.
Leaf, you were kind of paying attention and I think Ari, you were too. Both of you make some spot checks just regularly, please.
Okay.
11.
18 for me.
With
I got a
disadvantage
12.
dice.
The other one was a 29.
17.
Okay, well, this actually makes a lot of sense because you two are kind of apart from the rest of the group anyway. In that burst of light from the plasma, you swear you see some large dark shapes kind of just sneaking through the tall plains grass toward you.
Did you see that? They're frozen. Oh no.
See what?
Yep.
Did you
Back in a
see
sec.
anything?
Okay.
Are we back?
They're back
Okay.
now. You're back now. Yeah. So I
We're
go. I
back?
just go to Brick after you like pick me up and you're like, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's fine. And I'm just like, did you see that?
Yep.
Back to the fire.
Uh-huh.
Actually, you notice that as soon as you point something out, Amryn taps the thing that was on the side of her head, and there's a moment where her eyes kind of just glow a subtle shade of blue, and she says, "Yeah, backing away might be a good idea."
You guys are in the dark, huh?
And she immediately summons just this incredibly bright orb of white light, and as it illuminates the darkness around you, she actually puts it between you and the things you saw. You notice that these large, almost panther-like creatures stop and immediately retreat a few meters.
Those look friendly.
And we've got someone who's quoting Richard III,
Who said Rich? What?
line by line in the chat.
Richard the Third Enjoyer.
Yes, I appreciate the Shakespeare in our chat. It is wonderful.
Don't spam.
Yeah, please don't spam. I appreciate the Shakespeare though. I started as a English literature creative writing nerd, so I love it. But careful with the spam.
That's a weird normally it's like a Jesus loves you kind of thing, but now it's just Richard the Third loves you or something. I don't know.
Perfect.
I'll take Richard III. So yeah, these things back away, but you can see glints from eyes in the darkness as Amryn backs away with you.
Brick. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Brick has pulled his rifle from his back and turns on the light on it and is just kind of keeping it in that area.
Okay.
As we back away, I kind of whisper to Amryn and Brick. I mean both, but I'm talking to Amryn. So, is that kind of the kind of thing that we're gonna have to deal with on the trial?
Hopefully not. And as you back away, you notice the rest of the older Trakens have risen, and they are summoning their own orbs of light just surrounding the camp. And there are many more of these creatures that have actually approached the camp, and they are not crossing the boundary, but you are hearing them moving around. And
Hey, is
Amryn
the
says,
ship door closed?
yes.
Okay, good.
Zen did close
my
the
God.
main door, the main loading ramp. The gantry for you to enter is still deployed. However, that door, I mean, you have to be stabbed in order to be allowed on board. So
that's
it's
true.
not good. Your biometric system is unique.
Yes.
And these things will not be able to get past it. So yeah, you are back in the circle, within the light, and the initiates start joining in and summoning their own light to add to the perimeter.
Leaf kind of looks around and joins in, I suppose, and summons some light to add to the perimeter.
Okay, does it take any particular form, or are you kind of mimicking what they're doing?
Kind of mimic what they're doing, kind of spread out, extending the reach of the light a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so it's happening, and these creatures they seem to circle for a little bit. Then you hear a couple of very like low frequency noises that your ears don't fully pick up. You just feel them in your chests as these beings start to shrink back into the darkness.
Does that mean it's time for bed?
Keep to the light. You don't say. Well, you did say, actually.
There was a reason why we told you to be wary of the forest.
Sounds like good advice.
Yes, Karan panthers. They are not particularly pleasant, but if you know how to deal with them, they are manageable.
Cool.
And how do you deal with them?
Shoot.
I mean, you can enter combat. What we have just demonstrated, is an effective way of mitigating the threat they pose. If they find themselves caught out in the light, they will generally think better of attacking.
Are they like vampires? Do they like do? I realize that that's nothing that you probably would understand. Does the light hurt them? No.
Paladin Shimra walks over and says, "It merely deters them.
Okay.
The only way to harm them is in combat.
Great. Well,
You are welcome to do so. I would pay handsomely for a few pelts."
Sounds like
Jackets.
a challenge. Yeah, me and Harry just jackets.
We just look at each other. Jackets.
Uh-huh.
That sounds like a challenge. We'll see what happens. Anyway.
We'll be
Or
doing
they're
a
like a
hunting
little bit
mission.
burned. Is that okay?
Well, we did train Wonder as a bird weasel.
Yeah, that's not a bird.
Actually,
Wonder know that?
Wonder doesn't. Wonder was actually staying well within the light, although she was aware something was going on. If you had to guess, these things are maybe just a little bit bigger than Wonder.
Don't like that.
Oh,
Just a little bit. They look like they could actually. They look like they've got some serious muscle to them. Wonder's wonderful at everything and can do all sorts of things, but Wonder is not meant to jump in and fight things for long term or chase things
No.
down. Wonder's an ambush predator. These things look like they could stick it out if they wanted to. So the Trakens, having added a little more fuel to their perimeter of torches, return to their meal as if this is perfectly normal.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what else is. I kind of say this to the rest of the group. I don't know what else they have planned for tonight, but I definitely want to have a little strategy meeting before we decide to just run off into the dark tomorrow.
Sure.
But I don't want to be rude either.
I mean, there are plenty of things you haven't asked them. I will point that out.
Well, yeah, but like,
You're good.
do you immediately meet a friend and say like, tell me everything about your entire history as well as where you come from and the society in which you were born and raised in, and also who's the Coalition of Alloc and how did they become a thing? Like,
I know.
warm them up,
So tell me, do you have any friends? What about enemies? Yeah. I would. Leaf would very much like to go to talk with Kimron at some point.
I'm sure Kimron would be more than happy to talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to go inspect Kimron's wares as well. Like just.
Okay. When you walk over there, Kimron actually just grabs their plate and whatever concoction they are drinking and runs back over to the store and says, welcome. I wasn't expecting customers so late. What can I interest you in?
I'm a curious sort. What do you have?
Well, I have these wonderful jackets in this fetching shade of, I believe you call it red. I
He's
also...
just like,
Ari and Kai are both just like, Leave.
There is, of course, this tapestry in the back. It is over 600 years old, in excellent condition. I have these statues here, some abstract, some not so much. I have a complete compendium on the life and times of the Alcine Empire, circa about 2,000 years ago. It's very out of date. I also have let's see here. And Kimron just starts rummaging through a crate of stuff.
Okay. Well, 1,000 year. I'm a bit of a history buff. So, the Alcine Empire. Yeah, that could be interesting. You said jackets?
Yes.
Ooh,
Kimron just.
Kuipers would love this.
Yes, there is a whole selection of jackets. There seem to be a couple of capes, oddly enough, of varying lengths and ornateness. Yeah, there are also a couple of alien boots.
Really?
Are they alien in that,
Yes.
like, they're not a normal foot shape?
No. They are. It would be very weird to try and walk around in one of these as a human being.
Leaf wants to try, but fascinating. Have you ever heard of pool noodles?
Pool noodles. I know what pools are. It's a small body of water.
Yes.
Are these noodles you put in and then eat?
Not quite. They're more for recreation.
Fascinating.
Leaf pulls up a image of one on his little handheld.
God.
Intriguing. Do they float?
Yes, they're extremely buoyant in water and a few other things.
What other things?
Anything with the same general density as water.
Do they come in just this color? This bright orange?
I believe we have them in blue and pink as well.
I goes, and
How many
purple.
do you-
Oh, right, and purple.
How many do you have?
How many do we have, Grant?
It's on. It's on.
Enough.
Okay, hold on.
I'm currently looking at that.
Okay.
In your cargo bay.
Quite a few, enough that I'd be willing to part with some.
I'd be. I'd have to see it first to give you a true estimate. But if I had to guess, I would start with two Freeport credits each.
Tempting.
It's gonna be more.
They are quite useful though. Leaf proceeds to casually haggle over pool noodles.
Make me a diplomacy check.
Jesus.
Give me a sec. The plus might matter here. Please. 13.
You beat Kimron by 1.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. We're getting those jackets.
Okay. What did I say? You've got like a. It's.
We have so many
What?
pool noodles. Oh my god.
How many do
How
we
many?
have?
Was it like a pallet's worth of pool
We
noodles?
have a full we have at least one pallet of we have
Why?
pallet of pool noodles. No, we have 50 pallets of pool noodles according to this.
No, what?
Oh my god.
That's what you wrote. I think what you actually meant is we have a pallet of 50 pool noodles, but what you wrote is 50 pallets of pool noodles.
I mean,
We can't fit that on this shit.
You're
Pound
rich.
for
We are
We're
quite
rich.
in
We're,
pool
we're
noodles.
rich in any society that uses pool
Mhm.
noodles as curtains.
Oh, that's its mass.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
But that's
It's because you have a capacity for
wait.
how much you can carry.
Should I look up
Yes.
how many pool noodles you can fit on a pallet of pool noodles?
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
the
let's do
average
math.
weight
Hold
of
on,
a
hold
pool
on.
noodle?
I have personal experience with this actually. As someone who used to stock things
The
at
average weight of
Target
a
and
pool noodle.
oh, also, while we're looking this very important bit of information up, Rex Sloth says, "Hello, friends. Just purchased an entry-level telescope today. Very excited to start this new adventure.
Nice.
Good for you. That's really fun.
That's awesome.
that's awesome.
Okay, so it looks like a 5-pack weighs not
We
even a
just found the
pound.
same
I
thing.
think so.
We did the same thing.
Okay, let's say 10.
This is amazing.
Is it 50 pounds or are we doing like kilograms?
Kilograms.
It's kilograms.
So-
So
Okay.
wait,
A kilogram's actually a little bit more, I believe.
hold on. I got this.
It's
We got
okay,
no. We need
like-
this to be accurate. Okay,
We have like
so
85 pool.
so 50 pound. Wait, no, it'd be 50 kilograms of pool noodles, right?
Uh-huh.
That's 110 pounds. 110 pounds, and there are
You've got
5
less-
pool noodles per pound.
Oh, come through me.
550
Come
noodles.
through.
You've got 220 pool noodles. There you
No,
go.
we have 550 grand. Don't lie.
Yes.
We can definitely afford those jackets now.
Why did I give this to you? Okay, yes, you've got all of those. However,
Yes, we made Grant face palm. Okay.
We bullied the DM. No, just kidding.
it's okay. I will have my revenge.
Oh no. Love you,
We
buddy.
know. You're gonna kill off all the
Okay.
people we love. It's fine.
So do you call up a member of your crew on board the ship and say, "Hey, wheel out the pool noodles"?
I go.
Yeah, I asked Bessie to send out one of the maintenance drones
Okay.
with pool
Um,
noodles.
Actually, it's not one of the maintenance drones. It's actually Artie who's coming out dragging this pallet of pool noodles. And
Okay, so
No.
just before he gets here, if that one asks you if you'd like
Anything. Just say no.
a diagnostic, class A and B, you do not want. Class C is a standard bioscan.
intriguing. Okay.
The
That
other
is
two
a-
involve samples.
There's a reason we left him on the ship, is what he's trying to say.
Concerning. Okay, this is a fascinating robot. Is it of Alocian make?
We think so.
Intriguing. I might also be willing to purchase that off of you if
No.
you are so inclined.
I sincerely doubt that our captain would
Absolutely not.
approve of that transaction.
Mm-mm.
They've become somewhat close.
Don't
Artie
take my
arrives.
son.
Artie arrives and says,
Greetings, Leaf. I have brought the pool noodles as requested. Ooh, another dragon. Can I interest you in a bioscan?
Say no.
Honestly's fine.
I'm merely interested in trade today. That is an awful lot of these pool noodle things. Kimran walks over and starts examining them and says, "I will take 100 of them.
Excellent.
There's limited space on board our ship."
Of course. And yeah,
And how much a piece was it?
Well, you did beat him on the diplomacy checks, so
I
I'm gonna
I
say you
would
can. Yes.
I would settle for the pool noodles plus what was it, the 200 coins that we'd already kind of put into play for the jackets and say the book.
Kimron thinks for a second and says, "I suppose I can do that. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, nobody was really going to go for the history book, so you are. I'll throw that one in for free. Yes, you are welcome to all of it. And Kimran hands you. It's not really a book per se. It's a very old and very beat up data pad. However, it does come to life when you touch the screen.
Lovely.
And Bessie immediately starts translating it, and also Kimran offers you the 2 red bomber jackets.
Yay. Okay,
And
Aries
takes
back.
just this takes a whole box of 100 pool noodles and starts wrestling them on board the tracking ship.
Brick would give him a hand.
It's not that heavy, as we have established. It's
I
just
know.
there's the occasional pool noodle just falling out and rolling all over the place.
Yeah. Brick's going behind him, just picking up the ones that fall. Oh, we got that one. Oh, I got it for you. No, I got it.
So you're following onto the ship?
Oh shit. Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
If
No.
You almost hit your head. The ceilings are actually quite low in this ship, because Trakens, you've noticed, are a good head shorter than you are. So it technology-wise, it seems roughly equivalent to Dawnbreaker. However, it's been much used and much loved. You can actually spot repairs throughout this hallway, exposed piping, that sort of thing. You almost get caught up in some wires at some point, but you're led to the cargo bay, and Kimran is very thankful that you helped with the pool noodle fiasco. These will fetch an excellent price the next time we reach a tropical paradise.
They're really fun to
forward
hit each
spin
other
it.
with too.
They are? I wonder if I could pawn some off on the path of light. I think they might find that useful.
um,
Not there to say anything.
as I can attest, they do make excellent training weapons.
You're not there.
I mean, we were mid-conversation.
They left.
Okay, so yeah, now that you've got jackets, Leaf, and a new data pad with several
Lovely.
thousand years of
don't have it
history.
yet.
Wait, did you say I only got 2 jackets? Oh,
Yeah, you got 2 jackets. That's
Oh, okay.
all. That's all.
That's all they had.
Kimran had of this
Oh,
particular
okay.
jacket. They are at the moment very, very large. Although you do remember overhearing that there's a button that can be pressed to auto size them.
I walk over and hand a jacket to Kai.
I don't want to take it. There's only 2.
I know. I thought we were getting him for the whole squad.
No, you keep. You take it. You
But-
wear it. You did the pool noodle stupid trade thing, and I don't know how the hell you managed to do that, but you deserve a jacket for that alone. Ari also
I mean-
deserves a jacket. He really wants one.
Oh no! I was actually gonna give you mine because you guys are like, oh geez, you need it.
No.
You've been wanting it so long.
It's okay. I'll find one eventually.
No, just throws it at her.
No.
Take it. Tries to like wrestle it on her shoulders. Like, take it.
I like take it out, and I'm like, we're gonna put it in the common room, and we'll figure it out later.
Why don't we share it?
While you're
Community
discussing
jacket.
this, you hear over by the fire where the Trakens have left their food,
Ooh, what is this fascinating specimen?
and then as Artie's little buzzsaw tool starts up, and they start carving up what's left of the bracken.
Artie, that is disrespectful.
Okay, Artie does stop. He listens
Thank
most
you.
of the time.
Head back onto the ship. Bring the pool noodles, please. The
To
rest
be
of them.
fair, actually, next time that there's something large and meaty to carve up, we should definitely have Artie do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but not at dinner. It's a
No,
little
I mean, like,
aggressive.
have Artie perform a Class A on the turkey, and then we can eat all the pieces.
God.
Anyway,
I love this.
Artie, everyone's favorite guest at Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, perfect for awkward conversation. Anything else you choose to do while you're hanging around with the Trakens?
I don't think so.
Um,
Should we head back to the ship?
is Leaf's considerably smarter than I am. Is there anything really obvious that we've missed here? That
I
like
mean-
Leaf would have obviously asked?
I mean, we'll have another
No.
chance to talk to them too. I feel like that's kind of what we're.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have more opportunities to ask.
Okay.
The only thing before you turn in is Paladin Ekans says it will take approximately a day for us to reach our destination. Traditionally, we tend to hike up there. You are welcome to join us on that hike. It does take quite a bit longer, but as a group, we ought to be much safer from the local wildlife. However, if you choose to use your vehicles, we merely ask that you are respectful of the final destination. And
Sounds
we will be leaving at not at first light, but shortly thereafter.
Cool. And that final destination is where we start the path?
That is correct.
Okay.
There, I believe there is a platform partway through the forest. If you follow a path beyond that platform, you will eventually reach a platform in the mountains. Just this cliff face. It is where we traditionally set up camp the night before the trial begins, and from there we enter the trial.
Sounds good. We'll see you there.
All right, you return to Dawnbreaker.
With all of our lights out, like flashlights
Yes.
on.
Yes, and with the remaining pool noodles,
Yes.
all
Alright.
500 or 450 or
We
something.
have
like
450 pool noodles. Yes, I'm gonna write that down. So you don't take them from us.
that. Okay. They accidentally get dropped out the airlock when you take off.
No.
No. We need him for bartering.
Yes, pool noodles are the new currency.
Okay, you're back on board Dawnbreaker. What you do?
Is Satsi with us?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so first things first. Regardless of like, first things first. Most importantly, Kai, I got you this jacket. Damn it, you have to wear it.
I don't want to take it from you.
But
I'm supposed to
What
be
am I-
like the
I
selfless
got it.
captain, and yes, I do want the jacket, but I'm also trying to be a
course.
good commander, and like you're making it hard, Leaf.
yeah, but how does it look if you're our captain? Like you're supposed to be, like what does it say about us as a team if we don't get you all decked out? Like,
You got a point.
Mhm.
I mean,
come on, make us look good.
okay, if you insist, and I take it, and I put it on, and I just Kai lights up. This is everything she's ever wanted.
Aw.
I want my jacket back. I want me in real life. I want my jacket back. Ugh. We're working on
What
it.
happened to it?
It fell apart because it
Oh.
was pleather, and I put it on, and the
Right.
first time we played, I got up and I was in a puddle of pleather.
I forgot about
It
that.
was really bad.
It disintegrated.
I had to vacuum.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
All right. Satsi
Okay,
still
now
has
that's-
her new little friend, the shapeshifting thing. She's still showing new things for it to shapeshift into.
Oh my god.
It's currently a hat.
I love it.
Oh.
Cute.
Saucy, that is adorable, and I don't want to distract you from playing with your friend. But just look at her and I'm like, we need this to go well, because I don't want to ruin your life. I don't know what happens if you don't complete this. So just what do you need us to do? Because I just want this to go well for you. How does and I like
Who, the, what, the, when, the.
yeah.
She reaches forward and touches your arm like she has so many times so far.
Yeah.
And there's a moment of kind of confusion and thoughts, and then the word trust.
I mean, yeah, of course I trust you. I just don't want us to fuck it up. Me, really. I trust these guys too.
It whirls around for a second, and then I trust you.
Okay. All right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do good. We're gonna do good.
Eri actually walks over and decides to give the jacket to Satsi and is just like, for good luck. And just wraps it around. You deserve it.
Satsi hugs it and then hugs you.
Oh.
And then immediately wanders off to, you think, the cargo bay? You suspect some of the fabrication facilities are in there. You're not sure exactly what Satsi's doing, but she's wandering off that way.
I mean, I'm gonna trust that she needs to go prepare however she must. All of us have no idea what this trial's supposed to be, so.
Just in case it matters, don't forget that the 3D printer is actually in Leaf's room.
Oh, there's another one. In fact, a moment later you hear,
Greetings, Sentient. Oh, whoops, wrong voice. Greetings, Sentient. I am T0DD. How might I help you?
I forgot we had Todd here.
and there's silence, and then,
I am sorry, I do not take non-auditory inputs. Please, write out a word or sentence if you cannot speak.
It's hilarious.
That's great.
Okay, quick team meeting. Really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Captain.
in the hangar bay. Just hanging bay.
Not in the hangar bay.
Okay.
No, I think we'll head to quick team meeting and like common area kind of thing.
Okay.
You know?
Hanging around the space bar. Okay.
Yeah, space bar. Okay, so how? Two questions. One, how do we want to? Do we want to hike with them? I feel like that's the right. I don't know.
I think we should hike with them and
Feels-
have Zen take the ship over to that platform.
I don't know if I want to move the ship.
Because
Also
like we
not-
know that platform will hold it.
Do we?
You're not sure how big that platform. Well, if you're talking the platform in the middle of the forest,
Yeah, the one we were at.
you could probably land Dawnbreaker there. But you're not sure of its structural integrity necessarily.
I don't know. I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was under the impression that this material was that we knew roughly how strong this stuff was.
I think it's
You
just
know how strong it is when it's protected, say
Gotcha.
in a cavern or something like that. You're not sure if it's up to holding the weight of a ship.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Yeah, that makes me nervous, but also like the whole like I don't want to cheat the trial in any way. You know what I mean?
I mean, like we by all means should go do the hike. I just like the idea of having vehicles nearby with medical supplies for afterwards.
I mean, for sure. Yes.
I'm sure it'll be
but-
fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Zen walks in on this kind of a little bleary-eyed and says, "Hi, what's going on?
Are you coming on the trial of light? Where we might
What?
die? It's a lot. Are you coming on the trial of light? Yes or no? We might get eaten by panthers. So if you wanna,
I'd love to, but someone still has to keep an eye on you know who."
I know. I mean, there's Thaddeus. He's definitely not gonna let anything happen to the ship.
He kind of just lowers his voice and leans in. "I'm not sure Thaddeus can do much more than mop the floors, if I'm being honest.
Hey, he's very good at it.
He is.
He's very good at it. But he doesn't look like he could use that mop as a weapon, if you know what I'm talking about."
Okay.
We'll
go get eaten by panthers then.
Maybe he knows kung fu.
You can take Artie.
No,
I mean, Artie's always a bundle of laughs. You know that.
I
You
don't.
just don't want Artie on the ship.
No, I don't.
I don't. I don't.
Without Kai around, Artie gets into trouble.
You either come with us or
He
Artie's.
pointedly gestures at one of the airlock controls that has been partially disassembled.
Artie, I'll tell him not to mess with stuff. But I don't think I want him coming. I just this is definitely like a religious thing, and if anyone's gonna mess it up in a disrespectful kind of way, it's gonna be my little robot son. So maybe we leave him at home for this one.
They seem like the understanding types.
I know. I mean, some of them, like 2 of them, like Ekin, not the rest of them.
Ekin said there was precedent.
You know, for us, not for Artie, to dissect something as we're like walking up the sacred mountain. You know, like he's like a dog that I need to keep on a short leash, and I can't worry about him, and also worry about getting
Which is
Sassy to
hilarious
wherever she has to go.
Which is hilarious because Wonder is rarely, if ever, on a leash.
Wonder I trust.
In Wonder we trust.
Yeah, are we and then Kai turns to leave. Yeah, how do you feel about taking Wonder? 'Cause love her. Little concerned about what we saw tonight, that she might get eaten. And I would hate that.
I mean, I feel like this is supposed to be a trial for the whole family, and like I don't. It just feels like Wonder should be there for that.
Okay.
We'll leave out Sen and more damagingly to our family. Eris. We don't need you, Eris.
Zen says, "No offense. I'd love to come, but duty calls."
Okay.
Plus, do you really want to leave both Artie and Wonder on the ship?
I mean, the ship doesn't take off unless I want it to take off, and I just kind of do the little like, I have the keys, like. But okay. All right, so we're hiking. That is question number 1. Number 2 was if we were bringing anyone else, which Zen, you answered. Thank you. Were you asleep? I guess you can go back to bed.
I think I'll do that. Just
Does
let me
Cordum
know when
want
you
to
guys
come?
head out.
All right.
I'm assuming not, but it feels polite to ask.
Cordum?
You can ask.
He's not coming. And I'm not even going to bother asking. He'll get more pissed off if we ask, I feel like.
Okay.
Thaddeus will scream if we ask, so let's not do that.
You hear from down the corridor. What are you wanting to ask me? What?
Nothing.
Why would I be screaming?
You're doing a great job.
Okay.
And then you missed a spot out here on the floor.
That's not very nice.
We appreciate you.
True, but not very nice.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
How armed does everyone want to be? I can't tell if we're not supposed to, like...
That was the thing I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
How heavily armed should we be for this?
You don't need to.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if it makes sense that Leaf would have asked, he probably would have.
Yeah,
And
you would have.
They say, I would say that Ekin would have said, you can bring what you feel safe bringing.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
You are
I
not
think-
meant to die during the trial, but the trial is not without confrontation.
Okay.
Yeah, Kai is honestly at the point where she's like, I don't think we're gonna, like, if it's a trial for, like, teenagers, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but we're probably not gonna beef it from that. Those leopard things, don't love that. That's a little more concerning for me.
Quietly does not respond to that.
Oh, I don't say it out loud.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That's just, I'm saying that's where I'm at. But
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I think, I don't know. Does anybody have any concerns?
I mean,
I'm bringing my
I'm
gun.
planning to bring
Me too.
medical supplies.
That would be great, considering I'll be there. We all know what happens. Just combat, and someone is in danger. I'm gonna do my best to not throw myself in front of anyone, specifically Satsu, because I know she's capable, but also she's like a little sister, and I'm like, but I'm gonna let her do her
It'll be
thing.
fine.
Trust her.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
I mean, I don't really have many more weapons to bring regardless, so,
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
like,
Well,
I don't know
have
that
a
I'd
lot.
bring the battle armor unless you really feel comfortable with that.
I mean, you do have that whole set of power armor you can bring with you if you really want it.
Whatever you feel comfortable wearing.
In
Aren't I
potentially
the only
tight,
one that
enclosed
can wear
spaces.
that?
I think you might be.
Probably.
I think you're the only person who can carry heavy armor, or who
Leaf
can
definitely cannot.
use it.
I'll stick with mine.
Okay.
Even if he's proficient, it would be way over Leaf's carrying capacity.
For the record, because I have so many weapons, I can't just keep pulling all of them out. Kai will be bringing only her survival knife, her hot knife, ching ching, and then laser pistol and the coalition tool she's gonna wear because she was hiding it, but seems like they know already that we. I mean, they saw Artie, so.
True. All right.
Yeah. Brick will bring his full load out except for his heavy plasma laser.
You have a heavy plasma
Maybe.
laser. It's very cool.
I think
Oh,
you
here's
might
the
have saw me. You might have saw me put it on the ship.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here's
okay.
the really hard question is, do I bring the talking plasma pistol?
No.
The talking plasma pistol.
No.
This sounds
No.
intriguing.
No. No.
Can you just show it to us
Do
right
it.
now?
I can give you a
Oh,
regular.
sure.
I can give you a regular plasma pistol to bring. It doesn't.
No,
talk.
no. I would only be bringing it because it talks.
I don't want it. It
Hello,
upsets
hello. I'm seeing light. Why am I seeing light?
me. No, no.
You're not gonna make me barf all over someone again, are you?
No, not this time. Always appreciate it when you do, though. Yeah, this is whatever passes for God's idea of a joke.
You may call me Stanley.
What the shit?
What's his
Stanley.
name?
Seriously.
Stanley the puking plasma pistol.
Amazing.
I have a new name for Twitch.
Yeah, normal plasma pistols go pew pew. This one goes puke puke.
And it is not a very fun experience, I might add. You would feel the same way if you had
Sorry.
white hot burning plasma coming out of you. Ugh, not fun.
I hate it. Please put it away.
Fine, I'll leave Stanley behind.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Stanley. You freaked me out.
It is fine. It is my nature.
It's a little jarring, but intriguing.
Be safe.
We'll
I
try.
hope to see you all
Bye,
again.
Stanley.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The worst.
Yeah, okay. Would you like us to all specify out loud what we're bringing, or just
You do not have to. Whatever you're planning on bringing, make sure you just mark it off and you are aware of it.
okay?
And we will transition.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I am gonna bring some of our what do you call them, darts? Because
The stim pack
the air
darts.
pistol darts,
Yes.
and stim pack darts.
The
Yes.
ones that will
Yes.
heal me when I'm inevitably doing a dumb thing.
What's up, Rick?
Before we time jump,
Yes.
I currently have 2 flares on me. Did I bring? Are there more of those in the cargo hold?
I'd say there would be. I believe I
Okay.
put emergency flares on there somewhere.
Okay.
If I didn't, I did not prepare you properly. I'd say there'd be several dozen, like, just emergency flares down there if you needed
Great.
them.
I'm gonna take like a dozen
Okay.
and just distribute them
That's
Just
a
in case.
it's a very good idea.
and get Brick would also walk up to Satsi and be like, I don't know if you can do the little flashy flash thing, but like here you go, and give her a couple.
She takes a look at it and immediately starts like playing with the cap on one end, trying to figure out how it works.
Oh right, yeah, you do this, and he just kind of and it goes. And Brick tries to cap it and doesn't realize that you can't do that.
Are these just normal flares?
Yeah.
Alert! Alert! Fire alarm! Fire alarm!
Leaf
Oh,
snaps
shit.
his fingers and it goes out.
Fire alarm! Cancelled.
Kai is not in the same room and is just like, what? And then the room's fire alarm cancel and it's like, okay.
You hear from down the hall Thaddeus say, what's going on out there?
I
My
don't
bad.
know.
Just testing systems.
Oh boy.
Okay. Okay, after waking up your entire crew with a fire alarm after testing out the flares. Okay. Anything else you want to do before we time skip?
Leaf
Oh, thank you.
uploads all of the stuff from that data pad to Bessie's systems.
Okay, Bessie's going to be translating for the next day or so.
Um,
All right.
Yeah.
You all get some rest. Any PowerPoints or HP that you may or may not have lost. I don't think anyone really did. Any of that stuff that you expended is returned to you, and it is the next morning.
and Leaf spends a chunk of gets up a little early and spends some of the morning. Leaf remembers to set an alarm and spends some of the morning actually attaining his psionic focus.
Okay, you have your psionic focus. I'm also gonna say, Ari, you would probably do about the same.
Yeah, with a cup of space coffee.
Yes, with a cup of space coffee, space beans, and yeah, you gather your party before venturing forth, and the Trackens have already. It looks like they've taken down their camp, put it all into backpacks or storage, and they are getting ready to set out. Ahmad is actually waiting at the base of your gantry.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
Greetings. You must be Brick and Erebus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A pleasure to meet both of you.
You too.
I
Nice to
believe
see
I
you.
will be accompanying all of you.
Yes, if that's okay with you. We would.
It is amenable.
Grant?
What does that mean?
Yeah,
I'll
no,
explain
me.
later. Amanda doesn't know what that means.
Vicky doesn't know either.
I missed that. I was busy
Sneezing.
sneezing.
Amenable?
I am amenable to joining you.
Hold on.
He's
Okay.
in.
Quick. What'd you say? He's in?
Chat, help
Yeah.
us.
Just gonna look it up really quick. Definition.
Amenable,
of
open to, or
Open and responsive to suggestion, easily persuaded or controlled. Excellent.
or in this context, I'm open to the idea.
Yeah, that works. Sick. Great.
Okay. Yeah. So Ahmad joins your party, kind of in the background, and yeah, you join with the Trackens. Are you kind of in the middle of their group or following behind them? Where do you take up your position?
I feel like we'd probably follow behind,
Okay.
sort of.
Yeah.
Let them lead the way. I don't want to I think excuse me. I think Kai and probably the rest of the group remembers that I don't know this isn't the trial yet, but Ekin was like, yeah, everybody kind of goes by themselves and we leave space in between. So I'm like, okay, let's let them prepare and then we kind of hang out back here because also we're not buddy yet. So
Okay.
we just kind of hang behind.
Alrighty. You follow them, and right before they set out, Paladin Ekin addresses the group and says, "Welcome, one and all, initiates, warriors, paladins, and new guests. Today begins our journey to the Trial of Darkness. Guide yourself by the light, stay on the path, and let no shadow fall over you." and they begin their hike. And they seem to know a pretty decent trail through the forest. It seems like kind of a game trail. And they're more or less heading in the direction of the mountain that you guys scanned on the way in. Let's see. And while we go through this, is there anything in particular you're doing? Just kind of keeping watch, or are you talking to anyone?
We're going through a forest, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Set some.
They specifically said keep let no shadow fall upon you.
You're pretty sure it's metaphorical. You are passing through a forest. There are shadows everywhere.
Yeah, and yet weirdly, none of the shadows touch Leaf.
Okay.
Because Leaf can do that.
Oh.
Wild.
Okay. Paladin Ekin seems to be rather amused by the fact that you were taking him so literally, but he's all for it. Okay. You keep on walking. There's maybe a little bit of, if you're not chatting with anyone, there's a little bit of distance between you and the main group of Trakens. Yeah, I'm gonna have everyone make a listen check for me.
Also, speaking of listening, I do have the forest sound effect playing. It is very quiet. I can't change the volume without obstructing all of us. So we're in a forest, everyone.
Also,
promise.
with Jersey, season 2, we used so many stim packs. Yes, and Leaf is carrying an ungodly number of them with him right now.
Season 2, we used so many. Season 3, they were all taken from us. We almost died because of it.
Yes. What did everyone get?
7.
10.
Real low, I rolled a 2 plus something not very high. 5.
Okay.
No.
10.
10?
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Both pretty average.
Wonder hears absolutely nothing. Satsi,
We're
however,
gonna die.
Satsi kind of stops and taps your arm, Kai, and then points off to the right of the group. And as you watch, and I think all of you would also notice this, it takes you about a minute to realize this, but there's this deep resonating rhythmic sound just going thum, thum, thum. And as you watch the trees, you notice some of the trees are very slowly moving. And
They do move.
mm-hmm. And as whatever this thing is gets closer, you start realizing it is a behemoth of an animal. Its head appears to go well above the trees, and it's just slowly walking by. It doesn't really seem to be paying any attention to you or the other Trakens.
Oh. Okay.
Crazy.
Is there anything you do? It's kind
pay
of
I'm pretty. No.
you certainly can.
Okay.
You said it. You have to commit.
No.
We have to stay focused.
Brick says
We're
out
doing
loud as a joke.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a big six-legged creature. It's got this very large round body, seeming like a short tail, and this just long, very what's the word I'm looking for? Flexible looking neck that is kind of just grazing on the tops of trees as it goes by.
Cool.
Is anybody else talking?
The Trakens seem to.
Okay.
And there's the distance between you and them is growing if you stopped. This thing will probably pass between both groups.
Oh.
Wait, we stopped?
I mean, I'm assuming you did. This
To
thing
not
is
get
going to cross your
squished.
path.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I do actually have stats for what that thing would do if you got underneath its feet. So, yeah. Anything you want to do with it, or are you just going to observe this nature in action?
Yeah, I don't want to touch it. Like,
Leaf
that's...
takes a picture.
Okay. Okay. Wonder's curious, but recognizes that it's much bigger than she is, so she's not going to go investigate.
Yeah.
All right, you continue. The day passes slowly. Let me see if anything else is happening. That's a no. Okay. Yeah, and
Yeah. As an aside, at some point, we would like to just kind of ask Paladin Ekin if he has any idea what that little critter on Satsi's shoulder is.
Oh yeah, did she bring it?
she did not.
She didn't.
In fact, probably as you guys were all beginning to fall asleep, you heard the sound of her dragging something up to the second level, and the next morning you found that there was a terrarium in the common area that had just a random boot in the middle of it.
Love it.
Good.
That's cute.
So yes, it is not joining you for this particular adventure. But yeah, Paladin Megan says, well, if it's a shapeshifter, we've seen them before. They're mostly pests. They occasionally make it on board your ship and pretend to be tools until you need them, and then they run away.
I'm sorry, Grant. Wait, we're playing D&D. Is this a mimic? Is that what a mimic is? I've never played with a mimic in a
It
D&D
seems to be a
game.
friendly one.
Are they usually are they mean normally?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Mimics
mimic.
mimics are the you pissed the DM off button.
Or just
well-
bites your hand off button.
I would argue we piss the DM off quite often. So I'm not convinced it's a nice mimic. I'm just gonna keep that in mind. Back in my
At least it's in a terrarium right now.
It also depends if it's a mimic from classic D&D or if it's a mimic from the 2017 game Prey. Those mimics are not fun.
Oh my gosh.
Lovely.
Okay.
The first hour I was playing that, I literally hit everything with my wrench. Anyway, so yes,
And then you find out that the wrench is the mimic.
yes. So oddly enough, the day passes by quietly. It's almost as if, with the exception of that one creature just wandering across your path, life seems to be avoiding you. And I don't know if either of our psionic characters choose to do anything about that or look deeper into that, but you don't encounter anything even as you pass by the landing platform you discovered the other day, or as you begin to climb the mountain toward this space that the Trakens are heading toward. You do notice.
Is it conspicuously silent?
Yes.
Mm.
It is
Leaf would actually
conspicuously
probe.
silent. Okay. What are you going to do?
I think I'd like to just kind of look around and just kind of probe around and see, like, okay, like, does it feel like there's anything weird going on here? Like, basically, like, having noticed an odd effect, like, are there psionic powers at play, essentially? Like, kind of looking to see.
Are you using the detect psionics power, or are you going to use one of the psycraft checks?
I think just a psycraft check
All right, go ahead and roll that for me.
to see if he can recognize a power in use. Like, that is a 21.
21. You swear several times along this hike you see the equivalent of a amplified greater psionic amorph or greater concealing amorpha power.
Okay.
You are not 100% sure what's summoning it or how what's summoning it or necessarily if it's the same thing, but it's definitely around.
Okay.
And you see it multiple times during the hike. Kind of like wisps of dark smoke
Fascinating.
All right, and
Nobody else seems bothered by it.
No, I mean, well, you're the only one who's seen it. Did Ari
Yeah.
do any probing of their own?
Our earbud died, so we just had to fix it.
Okay.
Did you call me?
I was just asking if you, because Leaf found some weird psionic stuff going on. So I was wondering if you were going to do any probing as well.
I feel like Ari would be like, isn't it kind of weird that they said we were going to travel as a group to keep the wildlife away? And like, yet we've only seen like one piece of wildlife? Is that weird to anybody?
No, yeah, that's... Huh, that is kind of weird.
I don't like
Maybe
this place.
Maybe it's because we're traveling as a group.
No. Could be. I don't know. It's pretty quiet. I guess it's working.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
I know,
I guess
I've realized...
Ari would... Uh-huh.
I just was going to say, I realized that you guys can't hear it because I'm not sending you my sound, but we do have a track on that's called Forest, and the only thing you can hear out of it is a bunch of birds. So just pretend like there's not a lot of birds around, actually. There's no birds in this forest. I just paused it.
Love it.
How
Okay.
do
I
the
guess.
others feel? Like, how are the Trackens acting?
Yeah,
Is
I
it
guess-
just as relaxed?
They seem to be, if you had to guess, they seem to be oblivious. They're the initiates seem to be having their silent conversations back and forth, and the Trackens who are speaking are speaking. They're talking the entire way.
Okay, I guess, yeah, I guess I will just ask, yeah, I guess Paladin Ekin, like, is it normally this quiet?
Under most circumstances, yes. If we're in a group, certainly the Panthers will not choose to attack us. Yeah, this is fairly normal.
Okay.
Do you tell them anything else?
So you're not like doing anything to keep wildlife at bay other than just
No.
traveling together.
Traveling together, speaking, having conversations. It usually does the trick.
Interesting.
Most things try to keep away from the sound, or at least that's been our experience.
Huh. Weef now has to decide whether to say something.
Paladin Shimra is actually giving you kind of a side eye at the moment.
It's just I keep catching glimpses of something. I'm not sure what.
What does it look like? She asks.
It looks like it feels to the brain the way smoke looks in the distance.
She narrows her eyes for a second, and then just keeps walking.
Can Ari hear this conversation? We're
Mhm.
close enough, right?
Mhm.
Okay, then I think he would now do a side check too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll that.
This guy.
I have to find it, sorry. Right there.
Add 8 to this.
24.
You immediately notice that Shimra has activated a power, detect psionics, and she's trying not to look like it, but she is observing the surrounding area with this power.
Okay.
However, beyond that, you don't detect anything else
Okay.
at the moment. All right. Well, you reach this outcropping fairly high up in the mountains, and after a series of switchbacks, you find yourselves just on this flat shelf of rock that seems to have been at some point cut out of the mountain. In the face of the cliff ahead of you, you can see what appears to be a massive triangular door cut into the rock. There is no apparent control system. And as when you arrive, the Trakens start setting up tents and another fire. And Paladin Ekin comes to you and says, "We will spend the night here. It is a appropriate time for initiates to meditate prior to the trial. It does look like there is a storm coming in. I don't know if you brought along any camping supplies of your own. We are more than happy to set up a tent for your tribe. We did bring an extra one just in case."
Yeah,
I
guess
feel
we
like-
fully forgot to bring that, huh? We would
What?
very much appreciate that, Paladin. Again, we didn't, did we? Did you?
Yeah, I stuffed one in Brick's bag.
Oh, what? How the heck?
I guess never mind.
Very well. If you need anything, of course, we are welcome to share.
Thanks.
And the Trakens are setting up camp. I'm assuming you set up camp of your own. And yeah, a storm is 100% blowing in. It's...
Would you like the
Real-
louder to play?
Yes. And it very quickly gets cold, very quickly gets windy, and when you do finally get back into the tent, it more or less starts raining immediately. And I don't know what do your characters do. It's weather, but I don't know. Satsi seems to be a little weirded out by it at the moment, and you're not entirely sure why.
I'm gonna ask her if it's... You okay? Not a fan of thunderstorms? What's going on?
She kind of just hears out the flap of the tent and just it's not the sarcastic shrug that you have been getting from her several times that she inherited from Reba. This is more of a I'm not sure.
Okay. Does this not normally happen here?
She shakes her head.
Okay.
Huh.
Interesting. Would anyone from the group like to share what they learned about the weirdness? Because Brick and I would not know.
That's interesting. I've been picking up something odd all afternoon. We've says kind of trying to be calm and not freak out anybody else.
Well, we're in our tent,
Also
right?
kind of a little concerned.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And I guess I will at this point use detect psionics.
Same Z's.
Okay.
And range it around to see like, okay. Actually, first of all, yeah.
Grant, is this a dark bit of mystery? The thunder is not very loud.
Sure.
Great. Grant sends me a list of music beforehand,
cryptic
but has to be
prompts.
very cryptic about it, so I don't know what's coming, so we're gonna...
Yeah, okay. So yeah, so I cast detect psionics, which in the first round will give me the presence or absence of psionic auras.
Okay.
Specifically, it will, I believe it generally gives you the strongest thing first.
Okay. And Eri, you're doing the same thing, right?
So I lied and I do not have that feat, so I'll just do a side check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Power,
And-
technically. Yeah.
And in the second round, it gives the number of different psionic auras and the strength of the most potent one.
Okay.
And I can keep going down the list of things that this gives.
Okay, I will see if I can satisfy your curiosity. You're... The entire area lights up.
Mm-hmm.
It feels almost It feels almost like moments back during your time first learning psionics, when you were first training with Dana, and you were surrounded by all of the students who were actively hurling powers all over the place. It's that times 10. This sixth sense that you use to sense psionics is almost overwhelmed by the sheer amount of energy around you. That's the initial impression. So, hell yeah, there are psionic auras. As you begin to focus it and maybe tune out some of the noise, you can detect all of the Trakens. Ahmad is a serious presence, but not using any specific powers. There's of course Satsi, there's of course Erebus. However, the effect you are feeling is all encompassing. All around you, it is very much the storm. And it is of a level of power you almost can't fathom.
Okay, so like deity level. It's one of the categories.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah.
It goes faint, moderate, strong, overwhelming. And overwhelming has this little description that says, for example, deity level.
Godlike.
Yes, it's
godlike power.
It's something that you even at your most powerful could never even dream of doing.
Gotcha.
So that's what you sense.
Well,
What about Ari?
What
I
did
got
you
an
get?
18.
An 18?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you get not as granular the level of information, but it's almost painful to reach out with your sixth sense and just even begin to probe what's going on. It's like there's static electricity zapping at you the entire time.
Okay.
You've never been around this much power.
Okay. I'm just.
So do you guys
I'm
explain
tempted
this
to try and actually figure out what discipline the aura is actually from, but
Oh my god. So wait, do you guys explain this to me and Brick and Satsi?
I think Leaf will yeah, okay, that like Leaf looks at Satsi. Yeah, you're right. The storm is
Absurd.
the storm is definitely placed here.
Huh?
This thing's like giving off
Placed by
Let's-
who?
that's a good question. But
I
this
turned-
thing's giving off like
I turn to Satsi and I go, so is your god real? Is God real? Sick.
this is
Satsi's actively spooked at this point, and she seems to be trying to meditate but just can't.
Okay.
okay.
I think we have to leave
Wrap
this bad
things
boy
up.
on a cliffhanger.
On a cliff, no less.
on a cliffhanger on a cliff. Because we are out of time. But Grant, did you want to leave us with anything else? Or just that foreboding feeling of Satsi is upset and we are all maybe
I'm gonna
under the god storm.
I'm gonna say you start to bunk down for the night, and the storm only sounds like it's getting worse. It's buffeting the tent. There is thunder. There is lightning, and none of you can shake just this sense of unease as you, one by one, drift off into troubled sleep.
Sick. Okay.
Nice.
Love it.
Exciting.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for joining us for some more D&D in space this evening. Thank you to Grant, our lovely game master, for weaving such a spooky, fun tale. And thank you to my lovely party mates for joining me on this this adventure. I have just gotten a notification that the puppy is she's 14. Is crying because she wants to go to bed and her bed is back here. So good time to end. But as far as next week goes, on Monday, me and Aiden will be back for some amateur astronomy. On Wednesday, I think I lied yesterday and said that we were going to be here for astronomy news, but actually I think we won't unless Grant or Aiden want to do astronomy news, or I guess Kyle or whoever wants to do astronomy news with Michael, if they can do that, because I will be on a plane. But Thursday we will be doing some D&D in space, and we're gonna have to figure out how the screens are gonna work because I'm gonna be at Kyle's house, so we'll see how that goes. But that should be fun. But I think that is about it. Follow if you are new here. Subscribe if you feel so inclined. If you have missed any of our adventures, they are all archived on my YouTube channel, which you can click on my face in the About page down below to get to. Anything else? Anybody have anything else they want to mention? No?
Not that I can think of.
Excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, me too. All right. We'll see you guys next time then. Bye.
Bye all.